there's something that we haven't been shown. There's something we haven't been shown because Chelley is really pissed off at Huda. I even just saw the first look for tonight's episode and she's pissed. The only thing I can think of, which I think from seeing the clips, is that she sat on his face or something, or she was twerking in the 69 position on Ace. And I get it why she's angry, but at the same time, everyone was doing the most. Like, everyone was kissing each other, people were grinding on each other, people were lifting each other up, three-way kisses. It was a lot. So, from what we were shown, I don't think Huda did anything wrong or anything more than what everybody else was doing. But for the fact that everybody was like, oh, like Pepe was like, well, that looked more than like a challenge, makes me feel like they purposely, maybe they could, it was too explicit that they couldn't show it. And in that case, I understand when she's angry because Huda knows what she's doing. Even with the challenge with Pepe, was it last week or something with the kissing challenge? And she was like, oh, I didn't know that you had to kiss them at the end. Yes, you did. You know what you're doing. So because of her track record, it makes me feel like she purposely went too far, but she didn't think Chelley would be pissed off because Chelley's also still exploring. And people are like, oh, but Chelley was doing, and I said it as well, to be fair, like Chelley literally did the splits on Chris's, like, on Chris's chest and was like kissing him like twice. But maybe she's seen it as like Chris and Ace are not friends, but Huda is my friend and we've been here since the beginning, and you know that Ace is technically like my man, but you're 69 in him, kind of, you know, maybe that's why. And yeah, maybe. But you know, but people were like, oh, why didn't she say anything to Ace? She did. She made it very clear that she was pissed off with Ace when he sat down. And so I'm just going by what like I've seen and what the villa, the reaction from the contestants, the islanders. It seems that she did go too far, but yeah, I think maybe now all the stuff that Chelley has not liked about Huda is gonna come out, or you know she's kind of, you know, because I saw from the first look she doesn't really want to talk to her and X, Y, and Z. And really and truly, like I would say in the first week or two, Huda was kind of not running the villa, not like an Ace thing, but she was very like manipulative in how who she would be talking to, what she would say when it came to like her and Jeremiah. But Chelley has, I think, is kind of like, you know, one of the queen bees of the villa, really and truly. And because Chelley's mad at her, that's why she's very, I don't know what I'm trying to say. So let me try again. So I think Huda seems like quite tearful. Like she's not shouting or anything like that because she knows that Chelley's a very powerful person in the villa. Like in the villa dynamic, like if she was to have an argument or be going back and forth shouting with Chelley, Alandria's gonna go back Chelley. Ace is gonna go back Chelley, and they're quite not popular, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like it's not like her arguing with Iris. You know, Chelley has power in the dynamic of the house, so this will be an interesting episode. I will say though that that challenge was like an orgy. It wasn't really a heart rate challenge. It was an orgy. Yeah, I mean, people were saying like it was a bit too overstimulating because people came out in pairs because there were so many of them. Usually, it's one person at a time comes out and they, you know, shake their ass or whatever, gyrate on the boys or on the girls. But they didn't do it for this way because there's just too many of them in the villa to do that. It would take too long. They've done this in Love Island games, and I don't know, maybe they've done it in international versions as well. I didn't mind it. I think they seem like they have a lot of fun, minus the Huda thing, but everyone seems to have a lot of fun. So I enjoy when they are enjoying, if that makes sense. I've got predictions for this episode that's coming up. I knew that Zach was going to try and talk to Alandria again. I knew he was going to try to talk to her. Obviously, I don't know. I'm not going to pry too much into it, but I'm not surprised that happened. What else as well? Nick being jealous about Sierra and um what's his name? Elam. Like, grow up, man. Like, grow up. You literally was kissing Alandria the other day. Like, proper kissing her. So, like, it's a challenge, remember? Just calm down. You've literally been kissing all your time here. So let Sierra have fun. Like, flipping hell, gosh, jealous much? I think Taylor has realized that by him being with Clark, he ain't gonna win anything. And maybe he's also clocked that clearly Olandra is a liked person inside and outside the house. So yeah. Anyway, you need to be going. You and Clark, pack your bags because you're going home next, hopefully. Actually, no. Austin and what's her name? Jaden. They need to go home. Boring. Iris and TJ. Bye. Bye. I would rather them go first, actually, because how Austin has made it this far on the show. He has not had no connection on this show. He's like, for the first 2-3 weeks he was complaining, woe is me, Ace and Shelly, and now he's almost towards, like, not towards the end, but yeah, no. Pepe and Andrina, they look. I would watch. I could see that. I would like to see that. But yeah, there's a lot of people who need to get out of the villa. There's too many people, and I assume there was a public vote. So I assume at the end of maybe this episode, they're gonna get rid of someone. Maybe this episode or tomorrow's episode, get rid of maybe 2 couples because there's too many people in the house. Way too many. Grayson, I didn't even know that was her name until I watched it. I didn't even know who she was. Hannah 2.0. That's what I was referring to her as. Amaya, I like Amaya, but yeah, I don't think this is the type of show for her to find love, because she's a very, like, I would say, unique character. Like, I enjoy watching her, but yeah, unless you put guys like her in there, it's going to be hard for her to have a connection, unfortunately. And she's a pretty girl. Like, she seems a really nice girl. Wait, who else is in the villa? I forgot. I will say the new boys, the Hasselmore boys, they're not part of, like, Ace's minions. So they, Elam and Chris seem to be, like, they're not punks, if that makes sense. So, even Chris talking to Ace, I feel like Ace realized, okay, I can't stand this guy. Not even about the height thing, but I can't stand this guy. And Elam being very, is it Elam or Elam? I can't remember, sorry. But you know what I'm talking about. He seems to also be very confident as well. Like, the way he's like combative with Nick. But yeah. Yeah.